a dormant force, one that has been waiting in silence, patient and still, yearning to be unleashed the moment you find the courage to release the pain you've been carrying for so long. That pain, once your constant companion, becomes a veil that dims your inner light, a weight that holds back the truth of who you really are. But the moment you begin to let it go, even slightly, that dormant power begins to stir, gently at first, then more boldly as you make space for something far greater: self-love. True self-love is not some far-off, untouchable ideal. It is not reserved for those who live without flaws or who have never known struggle. Instead, it rises from the depths of your being, the moment you stop fighting your inner pain and start embracing it, not as your enemy, but as your teacher. Carl Jung once taught that pain, when brought into the light of awareness, becomes a guiding force, leading us not toward despair, but toward the wholeness of who we are meant to be. Letting go of pain does not mean ignoring it or pretending it was never there. It means facing it with the quiet strength of acceptance. It means sitting with it, understanding its roots, and giving yourself permission to stop letting it define your story. Through this courageous process, something remarkable begins to happen. Self-love is no longer just a word. It becomes a living energy that begins to flow through you. You realize that it was never about being perfect or seeking approval. It was always about remembering your worth. This is not a superficial confidence. It's not based on achievements, appearance, or praise from others. It's something deeper, a state of being where you see yourself, all of yourself, and still choose to honor the person you are. When the pain begins to dissolve, it opens the door to a freedom you may have never known. And from that freedom, something extraordinary emerges, a relationship with yourself rooted in compassion, presence, and authenticity. As you continue releasing the pain that once bound you, a subtle yet powerful transformation begins to unfold. You start shedding the layers of judgment and self-criticism that clouded your vision. The harsh inner voice that once told you you weren't enough starts to soften. In its place, a new voice arises, one that speaks with kindness, one that lifts you up instead of tearing you down. In this space of radical compassion for your own humanity, self-love is no longer a vague concept. It becomes a felt experience, changing the way you think, feel, and act. The liberation from suffering becomes a bridge, a passage into a higher frequency of being. In this new vibration, peace and authenticity are not occasional visitors. They are your natural state. The inner dialogue shifts. The words you speak to yourself carry gentleness and wisdom. Judgment fades. The inner critic loses its power. Your inner world becomes a sanctuary, and your own voice becomes your greatest ally. This new relationship with yourself becomes the fertile ground upon which a meaningful life can be built. And from that solid foundation, your external world begins to shift as well. The more deeply at peace you are with yourself, the more you begin to attract connections that mirror that same peace. Relationships rooted in mutual respect, honesty, and presence. You become a magnet for authenticity, and your very presence begins to change the energy of the spaces you enter. This healthy, vibrant energy field that surrounds you is the living proof of the transformation that occurs when pain is released and love is allowed in. And with that love comes something else: freedom from needing constant validation. You no longer look to others to tell you that you matter. You feel it from within. You know it. Your worth becomes unshakable, independent of circumstances or opinions. This is a quiet kind of power, a sacred confidence, one that does not shout, but speaks with calm certainty. It is the kind of power that allows you to walk through uncertainty with grounded grace, to stand firm even when the ground beneath you trembles. Releasing inner pain is not just an act of healing. It is a profound rebirth, a reawakening to your truest nature. In that rebirth lies the real power of self-love, a force without boundaries, a light that walks with you as you step fully into your life. As you rise from this inner liberation, your entire energy field transforms. You're no longer tethered to old patterns of self-doubt, shame, or fear. Instead, you begin to flow with a natural harmony, one that seeps into every area of your life. This vibrational renewal acts like a magnet, attracting people and experiences that are aligned with your authenticity. A beautiful cycle begins, one of growth, expansion, and aligned living. And as this energy continues to grow, so too does your capacity for forgiveness, not only toward others, but toward yourself. This kind of forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened or dismissing your feelings. It's about releasing yourself from the grip of emotional burdens that no longer serve you. It's about reclaiming your power. With every emotional knot you untangle, self-love takes deeper root, nourishing your confidence and fortifying your sense of self-worth. A profound coherence begins to emerge between what you feel, what you think, and what you do. This internal harmony leads to external clarity. Your decisions become more aligned, your actions more intentional, and life begins to reflect that alignment back to you in the form of synchronicities, opportunities, and relationships that support your soul's expansion. And yet this journey towards self-love is not a destination. It's a commitment, a conscious daily practice of choosing yourself. It's about tuning in, paying attention, offering kindness, and tending to your inner world like a sacred garden. In this space of unconditional love for yourself, you discover a freedom that no one else can give you, a freedom to be wholly and unapologetically you. This freedom is the root of a fulfilling life. In its presence, joy and peace cease to be fleeting. They become constant companions on your path. The power that rises from within when you release your pain is nothing short of revolutionary. It is the power to live from your truth, to reclaim the wholeness that has always been yours. This freedom redefines everything: how you see yourself, how you move through the world, and what you choose to allow into your life. You no longer need others to complete you. You no longer chase temporary circumstances to feel secure. You are the anchor. You are the peace. And the confidence that comes from this deep self-love is not loud or boastful. It's steady. It's calm. It holds you steady even in life's most turbulent storms. It becomes the voice that says, "You are safe. You are whole. You are enough." And with this new way of being, you begin to set boundaries, not out of fear, but out of love. Boundaries that protect your energy and honor your truth. Boundaries that create space for the kind of life and the kind of love you truly deserve. You learn to say no without guilt and to prioritize your well-being without fear. You begin to understand that loving yourself is not an act of selfishness. It's the very foundation upon which genuine love for others is built. It is only when you honor your own needs, your limits, and your truth that you are truly capable of offering love that is free, honest, and unburdened by resentment or expectation. This kind of self-love, born from a process of inner healing, becomes a gateway to an infinite well of creativity, clarity, and purpose. When you release the mental and emotional weight once occupied by pain and unresolved wounds, you clear a sacred space within yourself. And in that space, something powerful begins to emerge. New dreams, inspirations, and inner callings that resonate deeply with your soul's truest desires. Your mind becomes more open, your heart more receptive. This alignment with your inner truth strengthens your intuition, guiding you with more ease toward choices that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. Slowly, almost quietly, life begins to feel more authentic, less like something you're surviving, and more like something you're creating with intention. The energy you emit from this state of wholeness becomes magnetic. It speaks a silent language that others can feel without words. It draws in experiences, people, and opportunities that uplift and energize you, because they are now aligned with your true self. Releasing inner pain and cultivating self-love is not merely a personal achievement. It is a quiet revolution, one that transforms not only your inner landscape, but also the way you engage with the world around you. It's a threshold into a life of peace, fulfillment, and truth, a sacred gift that can only arise when you dare to turn inward, to face yourself with honesty, and to love what you find without condition. As the inner noise quiets, a different version of you begins to emerge, one that no longer needs to hide behind masks, defenses, or coping strategies. What remains is a calm, authentic presence that no longer depends on external validation or chaos to define its worth. From that place, every step you take is infused with a quiet truth, one that can be felt more than explained. This authenticity allows you to fully inhabit the present moment in a way that was once unfamiliar. The past no longer imprisons you, and the future no longer frightens you. You begin to live here, in the now, with the peaceful certainty of someone who knows that they are already enough, without needing to be perfect, fixed, or proven. That deep recognition becomes the seed of a more conscious, liberated life. And from that seed, something rare and beautiful grows: resilience. But not the hard, rigid kind, not the one born of endurance or resistance. This resilience is soft, but unshakable. It's the kind that can bend without breaking, hold without clinging, and stand without forcing. It is the quiet strength of someone who knows how to move through pain without becoming it. You learn that pain is not a prison, it's a passage. And as you move through it with compassion rather than fear, you begin to understand yourself on levels previously unknown. This self-love becomes a mirror through which your perception of others also shifts. You no longer see through the lens of your wounds. Instead, you see people more clearly, with fewer projections and more understanding. Empathy grows not from neediness, but from a deeper knowing that every soul is walking its own sacred journey, often carrying pain we cannot see. The process of releasing pain becomes a doorway to a more integrated way of living. You stop searching for pieces of yourself in other people because you no longer believe you are incomplete. You remember that your wholeness was never lost. It was only buried beneath layers of fear and forgetting. This realization is fertile ground for the blooming of a new kind of self-love, one that does not demand or cling, one that does not fear or compete. It simply is, and in its quiet existence, it transforms everything it touches. The self-love that arises from the letting go of pain becomes a powerful, guiding presence, not loud or demanding, but constant, steady. It reminds you of your inherent worth, even in your moments of doubt or despair. This inner strength urges you to care for yourself with both tenderness and conviction. You learn to set boundaries, not as walls to keep others out, but as sacred lines that protect your peace and allow your energy to flourish. The peace born from this acceptance frees you from the exhausting chase of external approval. It connects you to a quiet, rooted confidence that doesn't waver with circumstances. With this newfound stability, you begin to walk toward your dreams with certainty. Not because you're guaranteed success, but because you now understand that your value isn't tied to outcomes or applause. You walk forward because you are aligned, because you are ready, and because you trust yourself. This authentic love for yourself also transforms the way you connect with others. Relationships begin to reflect the inner harmony you've cultivated. You attract connections based on mutual respect, honesty, and authenticity, not out of need, but out of shared purpose. Interactions are no longer a means to fill emotional voids. They become sacred exchanges where two whole beings meet, support, and grow together. The vibration of self-love doesn't stay contained. It ripples outward. It touches everything you do, everyone you meet. It's reflected in the quality of your work, the depth of your creativity, and the way your presence influences your environment. Living from this place is a daily invitation to celebrate the miracle of being alive. To show up each day, not just to survive, but to express, to connect, to evolve. It is the gift that emerges when you finally release the suffering that never truly belonged to you and open your heart to the love that's been waiting patiently within you all along. And in that opening, something sacred happens. You begin to relate to your emotions not as enemies, but as messengers. Each feeling, even the uncomfortable ones, becomes a doorway to deeper awareness. You stop resisting them, and instead, you listen. Your emotions begin to teach you, to guide you, to reveal parts of yourself that longed to be seen. This conscious relationship with your inner world creates emotional stability and equips you with the wisdom to navigate life's inevitable highs and lows with grace. As you become more grounded in your worth and rooted in love, limiting beliefs begin to dissolve. Beliefs that once told you you weren't enough, or that love had to be earned through suffering. They fade because they no longer match the truth you've uncovered within. The inner voices that once questioned your worth begin to fade in the face of the undeniable truth of your authenticity and inherent dignity. This mental and emotional renewal sets you free to act from a place of personal power and inner alignment. The impact of this transformation extends to every area of your life, from how you care for your body and mind to how you choose your actions, your relationships, and your aspirations. Living with self-love means cultivating a lifestyle that honors your holistic well-being, supporting habits and choices that nourish and strengthen you on every level. This love for yourself, born from the release of pain, also connects you to a deeper sense of purpose. As you begin to see yourself as a worthy and complete being, you align with the frequencies that draw opportunities and experiences reflecting that internal wholeness. Life becomes a mirror that reflects your inner growth and invites you to expand further on this path of healing and self-discovery. Each step becomes an invitation to explore the truth of your being more deeply, embracing both the light and the shadow with equal love. The self-love that emerges from letting go of suffering becomes the firm foundation upon which you build a life of authenticity, meaning, and infinite possibility. That deep connection to your inner truth becomes a beacon, illuminating the way toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. The clarity that rises from releasing inner pain allows you to recognize and honor your true needs, desires, and boundaries, establishing a balance that sustains your emotional and spiritual well-being. The ongoing practice of this connection with yourself generates a resilience that prepares you to face challenges with calm and confidence. Every experience, no matter how difficult, becomes an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to deepen the self-love you've so carefully cultivated. As your integrity rises, you open yourself to receive the love and abundance the universe is waiting to offer you. The energy you radiate attracts circumstances and people who resonate with your vibration, enabling relationships and experiences that enrich your journey and nourish your soul. This ongoing process of expansion and self-knowledge becomes an endless voyage, a constant invitation to explore and embrace every facet of your being. In that exploration, you discover the freedom to fully express yourself, without fear or masks, celebrating the beauty and complexity that make you unique. Thus, the self-love that is born from releasing inner pain becomes the very force that propels your evolution, a never-ending source of light and power that accompanies you every step of the way, guiding you toward complete fulfillment and deep harmony with the life you deserve to live. Every moment lived from that renewed self-love becomes a conscious act of creation, where your intention and presence merge to shape a reality more aligned with your essence. This ability to manifest with authenticity and clarity is the tangible result of the inner healing you've achieved by letting go of the pain that once imprisoned you. In this state of vibrational coherence, doubts and fears lose ground to the confidence that emerges from the depths of your being. Your inner voice becomes steady and compassionate, reminding you of your worth and standing by you in every decision, free from judgment or external pressure. This renewed relationship with yourself strengthens your integrity and creates space for a more conscious and fulfilling life. The effects of this transformation extend far beyond the personal. They ripple into every interaction, every relationship, and every project you take on. By radiating an energy that is authentic and balanced, you draw to yourself experiences and people who uplift and support your journey, forming a virtuous cycle of growth and expansion. This elevated vibration also opens the door to greater creativity and inspiration, allowing you to connect with inner and universal sources that enrich your expression and guide you toward new ways of being and creating. The connection with this creative force is a manifestation of self-love that has transcended the limits of suffering. The journey toward this complete integration is a continuous process of discovery and acceptance, where each step opens new possibilities and deepens your commitment to yourself. On this path, self-love becomes the light that guides your way, a constant presence that supports and nourishes your evolution toward authenticity and freedom. That renewed self-love translates into a vibration that touches every aspect of your life, from the smallest everyday decisions to the major life choices that shape your destiny. The inner coherence you've cultivated becomes a magnet that attracts experiences aligned with your essence, making way for a natural flow of well-being, abundance, and fulfillment. As this energy grows stronger, patience and compassion toward yourself become essential pillars, You begin to understand that spiritual and emotional growth isn't linear, but a dynamic process filled with progress, setbacks, and continuous lessons. This deep acceptance allows you to maintain a high vibration, even in moments of difficulty, by preserving the connection with your inner light. The presence of this loving energy also transforms the way you communicate with yourself and with others. Words gain a new kind of power, born from a place of respect and care. They become vehicles for strengthening self-esteem and nurturing healthy relationships. This new quality in your language reflects the coherence and authenticity you now embody. The self-love that emerges as you release inner pain also connects you with a broader dimension of awareness and purpose. You feel part of something greater, aligned with universal energies and forces that guide and sustain your evolution. This profound connection brings a sense of belonging and meaning that nourishes your soul and enriches your life experience. Every step in this journey is an invitation to deepen your relationship with yourself, to celebrate your achievements, and to embrace your shadows with equal love. The process of letting go, healing, and loving from a place of truth becomes the sacred dance that sustains your growth and leads you toward true fulfillment and authentic freedom. That ongoing embrace of your entire self, with all your light and darkness, allows you to live from a place of unshakable authenticity. A deep acceptance of who you are at every moment builds a solid foundation for forming more genuine and meaningful relationships, where vulnerability becomes a courageous act and love flows freely without expectations or conditions. The energy born from this self-love expresses itself as a presence that radiates calm and confidence, a vibration that naturally attracts those who are seeking authentic and resonant connections. There's no need to strive or force encounters. It's simply about being and allowing your essence to unfold with grace and power. In this space of integration and healing, life takes on a new meaning. Every experience, even the ones that once seemed painful or limiting, now reveals itself as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. The trust that arises from this connection with yourself enhances your ability to set healthy boundaries, communicate clearly, and act from a place of inner alignment. This balance strengthens your emotional and spiritual well-being, preparing you to face challenges with resilience and wisdom. The expansion that comes from living through authentic self-love opens doors to a deeper fulfillment, where inner peace and genuine joy walk beside you on your journey. This awakening is a call to honor and nurture that inner light, cultivating a life that reflects the greatness and beauty that have always lived within you. That inner expansion creates a resonance that impacts not only your personal world, but also the way you relate to your surroundings and community. The vibration you emit, rooted in self-love and acceptance, draws experiences that reflect and magnify that energy, supporting mutual growth and collective evolution. By cultivating this conscious presence, you learn to flow with the natural cycles of life, honoring the timing of each process and allowing transformation to unfold without rushing or resistance. This harmonious rhythm strengthens your connection with your true essence and brings you a sense of fulfillment that transcends the superficial. The daily practice of this deep love for yourself becomes a constant source of renewal and strength. It invites you to see each day as an opportunity to reaffirm your commitment to truth and authenticity, reminding you that the path to wholeness is a journey filled with learning, acceptance, and expansion. The effortless power of feminine energy finds its most genuine and potent expression in this self-love. From this solid foundation,